The ICE agent who killed Renee Good in Minneapolis has been identified, but the federal investigation might be over before it even starts. But it gets worse. On Wednesday, January 7th, 2026, an ICE agent by the name of Jonathan Ross shot and killed Renee Good. Good's ex-husband told ABC News that she was dropping off their son at school. In our last video, we showed you how before she was killed, she tried waving the agents through. And it wasn't until today, Thursday, January 8th, that we even learned the identity of that ICE agent. He was masked. The administration refused to reveal any details, but DHS let it slip that he was involved in another incident last year. Reporters at The Intercept, the Minnesota Star Tribune, and elsewhere tracked those details down and found out his identity, Jonathan Ross. In an unsurprising detail, Ross was in Iraq. The war always comes home, doesn't it? The Intercept's report found that Ross has been with ICE since 2016. In June, he was injured in a traffic incident while apprehending Roberto Carlos Munoz, Guatemala. An undocumented man later convicted of dragging Ross with his car. Before we get into updates on that investigation into Ross, we need to talk about how this discourse from the right has devolved since yesterday. J.D. Vance appeared at the White House press briefing where he continued to demonize and attack Ms. Good.
Because the reporting over this has been one of the biggest scandals I've ever seen in media. I've never seen a case so misrepresented and misreported. This is classic terrorism.
Terrorism? Are you kidding me? The nerve of these fucking freaks to use the same label, the same term, the same description that you would to talk about 9/11, to describe an incident where a federal agent kills a civilian.
What you see is what you get in this case. You have a woman who was trying to obstruct a legitimate law enforcement operation. Nobody debates that.
This isn't up for debate. You can see in the video that she's trying to get away. We showed you how she tried to wave them through. And this motherfucker was on his phone. The right is absolutely gleeful. I've lost track of the number of people justifying her murder. But no one is more appalling. Nobody has been more grotesque than Representative Randy Fine of Florida.
You get what's coming to you. I do not feel bad for the woman that was involved. It's time for Americans to say enough, and if you get in the way of the government repelling a foreign invasion, you're gonna end up just like that lady did yesterday.
Now, this is somebody who said just months ago that we need to condemn all forms of political violence, unless, of course, that's a federal agent murdering you. That should be celebrated and used as a threat against the rest of the country. But on that investigation, Kristi Noem, the head of DHS, put it bluntly, she's confident their investigation will find no wrongdoing.
We recognize that he acted according to his training, and we have expect that all the policies and procedures of review will be exactly that he acted appropriately.
Someone on CNN pointed out that this is in direct violation of DHS's own stated policy.
I'm reading to you from DHS policy. DHS law enforcement officers are prohibited from discharging firearms at the operator of a moving vehicle. And it also says a law enforcement officer must take into consideration the hazards that may be posed to law enforcement and innocent bystanders by an out-of-control vehicle, which we just saw the result of that.
And Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said today that state law enforcement has been boxed out of the investigation.
It feels very, very difficult that we will get a fair outcome. And I say that only because people in positions of power have already passed judgment, from the president to the vice president to Kristi Noem, have stood and told you things that are verifiably false.
The issue here is the Trump administration does not want you to believe what you see. They want you to adhere to a different set of facts, their idea of what's true. And the conclusion that they demand that you reach is that this woman's death was justified. That despite video evidence showing otherwise, she ran them over. She injured him. But the video shows he was totally fine and unaffected after the incident. Here he is, walking away, back on his phone. They don't want transparency. They don't want the truth to prevail. And most importantly, they do not want justice. We're gonna keep following this story every step of the way, so be sure to subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you for watching.